Hey guys, in this video I'm going to go ahead and take apart the Echo1 M.T.C. and show you how to take out the hop-up, the gearbox, and all the little tricks of the gun. This video will also work for the Echo1 SMC and K series, so let's get started. For this M.T.C. I basically built it and then added more parts to make it pretty cool. I used the M4 mag and the handguard I put on the longer RAS version. Just take off the pin and you can slide it off. You can have the battery up front. For the outer barrel extension, so I started with a C version. I just added the M4 outer barrel. You can find that in the part shop or your local store. And it's pretty sweet. Battery up front. To make the RIS handguard, the longer one fit on, I just cut. Although right here you can use a Dremel tool or a pair of large pliers and just cut it. You're going to see like a square corner. Just cut it at an angle and good to go. Okay. For the magwell, you either have a punch pin that goes clean through, or you have a small Allen. Just take this off real quick. Small little nut like that, and you can press through. Comes out, so you don't lose it. It's recommended. Put it back together. Okay. Also, I took out the mag release because I'm only using the M4 mags. Take this up, slides out. Okay, now for the stock. If you don't have the folding stock one, I put on this. You can basically punch out this pin or just press from the bottom, pop out the pin, wiggle the stock, comes off. Now if you have like a regular SMC or K series, you don't have to take the stock off, you just fold it. And the main reason is to get to the Allen screw that's in the back. All you have to do is take this off. But since the MTC stock doesn't fold, just take it off real quick and okay, so now I have base gun. I have a set of wires in the front. Just unplug it like that. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. A lot of people will just rip this out. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is notice how the hop-up unit is springy. See how it's going back and forth? What we want to do is pull forward your finger. Just basically slide it back. It's on a spring on the barrel. I'll show you. Slide it forward like that. See how much it goes forward? About half an inch. Once you have that done and the screw in the back removed, you can slide out pretty easy. You just are making room so the hop-up doesn't get caught on the air seal nozzle or the front of the gearbox. Once this is out, you're good to go. Now, to take out the hop-up, there's two versions we have. The latest version, which is the X series, you can check out our Facebook and you see how the hop-up is different. It actually has a BB loading tube that goes out into the magwell, and it's not spring-loaded. But for the spring-loaded one, which everybody has, what we want to do to take it out is push in, twist, like so, and it slides out. Very, very simple. How it holds in place, and you can slide it out the back. It's like that. Okay. Basically how it works is you have a little pin on this side and this side, and you press in, twist, and it comes out. You want to be careful. If you're too rough with this, you can break these little pins. Now say if you have the older version, you won't push in and twist. You just take off 1, 2, 3 screws and the whole outer barrel unit will come out. And that's pretty easy as well. Okay, hop-up units are just about the same to take them apart. You have the spring, you have the little brass ring on the outer barrel like an M4. You have a C-clip kind of like, I'd say, the Echo E90, an M4, AK, and it holds the wheel on. Let's take a quick look at how it functions. Basically have a wheel that spins. It will be a little loose, that's fine. But you have the key part that adds the hop-up is this little plastic nub right in here. It goes around this drum, and that's the part that slowly pushes it down. So if you take out the little C-clip, careful don't lose it, it just slides right off. Okay, once you have the C-clip off, you can take off the spring, and you can slide the drum off. Now notice here is the little part Don't want to lose this. And here is a little hop-up nub in here. Little nub right there. And take off the rest of the unit. Okay, now with the hop-up off, you can change the bucking if needed, or the inner barrel. And basically pop it back together, and you're good to go. Now once you put this on, you're going to notice, hey, like my M4, it's different. And what's cool is instead of like worrying about the little nub falling in place, what you can do is put the nub right there, the little adjuster part, and you're good. Much easier and better than like an M4. Oh yeah. And for the drum, see how it spirals like that? That's how it's adjusting. So I'm press down just a little. C-clip only goes one way, so it doesn't fall off. And done. It's basically how you change out the inner barrel or hop-up bucking, what's ever needed. Okay, let me just put that aside for now. Here's the rest of the gun. You have a fuse up front. Okay, now for the gearbox. All I have to do, the gearbox, take off the one larger Phillips screw. Right here is the motor set screw. You don't need to take these off. These can stay, that's fine. So take off the one large screw. Then you have a pin. Press out the pin. There's no grooves or anything. Take the pin out. You have a small little, this would be like a bolt release. It doesn't do anything though. Don't worry if you lose it. And there's a little spring. So a lot of you guys say, hey, I lost that, but it's just there for looks. It doesn't really do much of anything. First, you want to put it on semi-auto mode and kind of wiggle it up. Don't worry about this part falling out. The other part will fall out as well. That's fine. Now the reason why you want it on semi-auto mode is so you have a clear line from here. Basically you have this part interacts here. If it's on safe, it's not going to work. If it's on full auto, it's going to hit here. So it's like you just want it in semi-auto mode and just be gentle, kind of wiggle it out. And good to go. Now this is an older Echo1. It has the logo here and the older, much older 6mm. The current version is 8mm bearing, so no worries. 2 screws to take off the motor cage. Don't forget the motor set screw here, pretty easy to work on. Take off the little gearbox protector. Little pin here. Hold the wires in place. Okay, now for the top plate, you just kind of want to press or tap. Let me tap on it. Okay, kind of pry, be gentle when prying or hitting parts with screwdrivers. You don't want to jab yourself in the hand. Okay, just pop that out and it comes off. Okay, now for the rest of the screws. Oh, almost forgot. Make sure you release the spring tension. This is a good example. I'm using a hook. You can use a pair of pliers or something that will fit. Basically, you see the reversal latch. What I'm going to do is notice how the bevel gear, it's not moving, and the spring is just back a little. That's fine. What I'm going to do is pull on the reversal latch like that. Hear that noise where it kind of slaps forward, and now the bevel gear is free. A good way to understand how this works: you're at an amusement park and you're going up the mountain, like the log ride or whatever. You hear the click, 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 and you don't slide back. Even though you're in a boat on water, there's a treadmill. Basically, this prevents the gears from spinning back. See, now I can spin forward, but I can't go back. Okay. Take off the other screw. You can leave this one on for now. This controls the safety. When the safety's on, can't pull the trigger. Now you can. Okay, and the small screw front. Pop this up. Don't lose this. And okay, there you go. It's a regular version 3 gearbox. Regular piston. All the regular version 3 parts. So you can basically change it to whatever is needed. And remember, this is the older, basically the first generation gearbox. So if you're comparing and saying, hey, mine isn't like that, mine is an 8mm, yes, this is the first generation. Okay, close it back up. Wiggle the trigger sometimes for version 3s because you have the 2 pins. Wiggle it. Make sure the piston. Okay, cool. And close it. Oh! See what I did? Almost closed it and I forgot about this. Just like for the AK gearbox. Basically press this in here. Hit the 2 little grooves. Like that. And you're good. Wiggle it, done. You don't want to forget and put it all together and say, oh man. You know, this is the part that you have the screw in the back. So you need that. Basically holds your gearbox inside the gun more stable. You can run it without. It's not recommended. And this little part, it holds wires in place. If you lose it or break it, that's okay. You know, make sure you have the wire here and here to hold it in place. You get the little part. This part basically keeps crud and whatnot, like if you're crawling around, like for the AKs as well, so you don't get crud going into the gears. Okay, now just put it back in the lower. Here's the selectors. And don't forget this little part. Pop this in. A little spring. If you need to, put a little grease on there, or just, you can omit it. You don't need to put it in. It doesn't do anything. Okay, now it's on safe mode. Lift up a little, put it on semi. Get past right here, and on the other side as well. Press on that spring. It's going to be troublesome for you. Kind of pull the trigger to slide it into the lower a little more. Okay. Basically realigning this little part and the spring. Oh, it came off. No worries. Okay. Scoot back the selector plate just a little. Line it up. Okay, cool. Pop in the pin. If you can't press it in by hand, you have something out of place, like maybe this part is getting caught on something, so you want to make sure you can press it in by hand and you're good. Otherwise, it's something is jammed or caught. Okay. Put the screw back in there. Okay. And basically put it back together. And put this in real quick. Okay, you notice how the back of the body has a somewhat round notch. That's to make it so it fits through here. Or we can do, slide this forward, push in and twist. And let me go ahead and take this off so you guys can see the other way as well. Okay, I took out this screw, and this screw. Just pop them out. And you're going to notice the small little nuts on the other side kind of held in the plastic. But with time and age, they will be loose, like in the plastic. So you don't want to lose those. You can put a little grease, hold them in place. Okay, with the 3 screws out, you can kind of press against the body like so and slide it out. Make sure wires aren't getting caught on anything. Slide out gently, ever so gently. And that's basically how you take out the newer version. And this is another better example for the hop-up removal. Notice the little nub or the little notch there and there. Press in, twist like that, and put it back in. Twist, done. Let me put it back together now. Slide the wires forward. Slide in gently. Okay, cool. put the screws back in. Okay, got the screws in. It's good to go. Pop up still springy. Pop this in place. Here we go. You're going to notice the wire could get in the way. Press the wire forward just a little. This is plastic, so you can bend it just a little. Press it forward. Don't forget the hop-up unit. Pull it forward as well. And done. Make sure this is springy. Okay, cool. Now, feed this wire through a little right here. Plug this in. And scoot it back. Kind of just have it chilling in this area. Scoot the wires down right here. Make sure it's past that little shelf right there. Pop this on. I'm about to karate chop it. Press that in. Tighten down the screw. Don't forget the screw that goes on the back. This screw is the one that's for right here. Okay, cool. Pop this in. Get the stock pin. Go ahead and check out the Echo1 part shop. I'll put the link down below in the description for all the little knick-knack parts you're looking for. Okay, and that's basically how you take apart the Echo1 MTC or the SMC or the K version. And also, if you're paying attention, yes, I did forget this. Before this video is over and I upload, I will put this back on, you know, do it right. But other than that, thanks for watching. It's been Brian from Echo1 USA.